Welcome to I'm Writing with me. On today's episode, I am going to be talking about some of my favorite quotes from my first novel. Thanks for joining me. So, as you all know by now, grab a seat, grab your tea, and join me as we partake on a little journey down my memory lane of some of my favorite quotes so far in my first novel. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming, guys. Today we are going to be going over some of my favorite quotes from the book. Um, so I am just going to pick out a handful. Thanks so much for coming, and thanks for joining me on my journey so far as I have been writing my first novel. It means a lot that a handful of you actually care, and it's fun for me. Um, so to dive right into it, um, one of my first favorite quotes is one by Mia. To set the stage a little bit, she is speaking to somebody that she's visibly annoyed with at the moment. And so the quote is, "Oh, we have manners today." Um, and so I thought that one was kind of fun. It shows off a little bit of Mia's sarcastic, playful side while also showcasing that, like, oh, she'll stand up for herself. Um, I think another great quote um comes from a character called Seraphine. Seraphine is kind of the main rival in book one. Um, so one of her quotes goes, "Sorry about earlier. You have a bit of a frosty temperament. Let's start over. So, Duke's daughter. I'm the daughter of a lord, so I know what that's like. Though I guess just on a higher level." Um, so Seraphine and this scene, we've just kind of been introduced to her character. The comment about frosty temperament is mostly a reference to her ice powers, because that is kind of what Seraphine is known for. And I love this side of her because she's very much a I'm better than you type of person. Um, she is, as already stated, she was a daughter of a lord, so she automatically assumes she's better than everybody else. Especially Mia, because she hates Mia right off the bat. And I think one of the big things that you'll find out later is kind of why does she automatically hate her, and some of that will be gotten into in book one, and some of it won't. Some of that will be for later, which I think is always fun. um I have really enjoyed fleshing out a lot of these characters and seeing their voice kind of come out in the different chapters, because I think it is just so fun, as I'm fleshing out even the side characters, to see their interactions with each other, their dialogue, and just showcasing who they are as a character, as you see more and more quotes by those characters. Um, and it's just one of the things that I have really enjoyed about writing myself is the times where I'm like, really like that, and then I can be like, I wrote it. So I think that's just really fun, just to be able to see all the different interactions. So, one of my next favorite quotes is in one of the later chapters, and it is by Kale. Um, if you have been watching my other videos with Magical Affinity, Kale has not officially been introduced, but he is the Academy rep, who we officially get his introduction, believe by chapter 5 is when we finally get to know what his name is. Um, and he is he is a really fun character to write. Since he is the more mysterious one, he's a lot harder to get a read on. His interactions with Mia a lot of times are a little more like not rivals, but just the energy the two play off of. They just kind of had this back and forth, this constant bickering, fighting, like a married couple type of vibe. But at the same time, you see occasionally his vulnerability, and that has been really fun to sprinkle in as you kind of get to know more and more of his character throughout book one. Um, so his quote. Normally, I wouldn't need the light, but you seem like a fraidy cat, and I don't know if your frail rich girl heart can take it. So this scene happens when he and Mia are going off into the darkness somewhere. And I guess you'll just have to read the book to find out why and what's going on. Um, which is again, it's so fun to be able to read some of this out loud and talk about it because, I can't give everything away yet. I'm really hopeful that someday you're going to see this in a store near you or at least on your Kindle or something. So hopefully you'll see some of these quotes stick around as we get into more of our editing. I have had such a great time writing each and every single chapter. Um, I can't tell y'all how fun it has been to to write even. I think it has just been one of the joys of my life. Um, let's see. Getting into one of my next favorite quotes. We are going again into the later chapters. I'm just passing through chapter 9 now, which is crazy. Like I said, we're up to chapter 17, and that is so fun. So I have a quote. It's by Lyric, who is both Mia's roommate and best friend. I'm just trying to find it now because it is probably one of my favorite quotes. And part of the reason it is one of my favorite quotes is simply because when I wrote it, I thought of one of my friends and I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure this person would say this, which I think is always great when you take inspiration from friends and go, yep, nope, totally could see this person saying this. Um, because there's nothing quite like that feeling. There's nothing quite like writing a sentence and being like, oh my God, I know exactly who and where that inspiration came from. So let me tell y'all, just never ever think that your writing doesn't come from somewhere because it came from somebody. And it's really fun when you can pinpoint who that came from. So this quote happens actually in chapter 16. And it is again by Lyric, Mia's roommate. And she says, um, it's your body, your choice, dude. Like, you can do that stuff outside of marriage if you so choose. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys there. I think those are just a couple of pictures for you of some of our various characters, a little bit of their attitude and hopefully a little bit of a picture of some of the fun stuff we will get into later in the book. And like I said, I'm really excited for the day that you guys all get to listen to, read, whatever happens with this book. Um, that it'll be something that you guys can have for yourselves and not just something that I get to enjoy all by myself. Thanks for coming. Have an amazing day. I hope you all enjoyed your tea, and I will see you guys on the next one.